The impossible has happened. CM Punk is back in the WWE. Randy Orton made his return, and we have Survivor Series Fallout all right now live on In This Very Ring.
What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Slap.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
Good evening, A2D Radio. And welcome to another edition of In This Very Ring, right here live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. My name is Ritz, and joining me as he does each and every Friday night, it's the mayor of Toasty Town. This is Butters.
What's up, everybody?
Better than the hi. In This Very Ring is brought to you by our friends at Alon's Travel. Alon's Travel specializes in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts, including yours truly, create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. Alon's on over to alonz-travel.com/take the trip to get in touch with myself, Birds of a Feathers, Chuck Moranin, or any of the other incredibly talented travel experts at Alonzi Travel. Well, the impossible has happened. The unthinkable has come true. The voice of the voiceless, CM Punk, has returned to the WWE. At the end of Survivor Series last week, which you can catch our incredible live reaction to it in the archives, CM Punk made his return to a raucous crowd in Chicago. Monday night, he would come out and cut a passion-filled promo on Raw to close out the show. And it was announced that next week he will be on SmackDown for the first time in 10 years.
With tribute to the troops.
Is next week tribute to the troops?
Yes.
Okay. At least they're doing it all. All right, it all makes sense now. But that's awesome. I love that. So it leads us to our topic of conversation today. Your WrestleMania predictions have changed with the arrival of CM Punk. Agree, disagree, Butters, I throw it to you.
I hope you don't throw anything at me. I mean, shit.
The night's still young.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to agree to the poll, honestly, because I would figure at least Seth's opponent would have been somebody different, whether it be LA Knight or Drew McIntyre or Damian Priest or it could be somebody else totally different holding the world title at this point in time. But now, with the arrival of CM Punk, I see it as CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Headlining night 1 with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes headlining night 2.
See, I disagree to the poll. None of my WrestleMania predictions are changing. I don't think that Punk coming back, right, does shake up the foundation and the landscape of the WWE for sure. But I don't think that it warrants a change in the plans because we still got
like 3 to 4 months
we
left.
still have the
WrestleMania.
Royal Rumble. We still have Elimination Chamber. You know, we've got a couple of things between now and then. What's to say that Punk and Seth don't clash then?
Who's to say who's to say Seth's even the world champion at that point?
Right, but that feud may not need the title.
That or who's to say CM Punk has the title and somebody else is going after Punk for it.
Fightful is actually reporting that Punk versus Austin is being discussed.
I'd love it.
I think it would be great. Austin has shown in the past that he can do, different styles of matches, especially when you go back to WrestleMania 38 in Dallas with Kevin Owens. They had a very long match.
That was one match, one feud that we all wanted to see, Punk and Austin. We had teases of it here and there, but we never got it because at the time, of course, Austin.
Well, Austin was on his way out. His knees were really bad. His neck was still really bad.
He was still retired in the sense,
Yeah, he was still very, very much retired. But I also think that we're gonna get a lot of fan service from Punk this time around that we didn't get before. We kind of got it a little bit Monday night when he mentioned his wife AJ Lee. That was really the first time that he has mentioned AJ in any of his promos since coming back to the world of professional wrestling.
I mean, but we also need to see, and I'm pretty sure he's got a clause somewhere in his contract, but we got to see what his attitude's like in the next, couple months.
But I think, and we talked about it very, very briefly Saturday night, kind of throughout the night at different points, because Chrome jumped on with us at certain points, and we've talked about it a lot as the rumors were starting to swell. WWE is a different animal than AEW.
Yep.
WWE has a structure in place. WWE has a hierarchy. WWE has systems in place, processes and procedures that don't allow for the anarchy and the chaos and the me mentality that you see inside AEW.
You also see less injuries in WWE.
You do. And you see more of control and more of but it's very much an open door policy in the sense that if you're unhappy about something, come sit down, let's talk about it, and let's try to figure out a way to make it better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we can't make it better, you have to understand we can't do it. Whereas over in AEW, the mentality very much is if you whine, bitch, and moan enough, Tony's going to give you what you want.
Which right now we're
no matter who we pass the piss off in the process.
Which currently right now in WWE, we're kind of seeing that with Drew McIntyre that, they can't give him what he wants, and he really, So who's to say he jumped ship to somewhere else? I'm not saying specifically AEW because Lord knows they don't know what the hell they're doing with the talent they have right now. So why pick up somebody else like McIntyre?
I think the McIntyre situation though is so vastly different. I think it has. I don't think anything of his storyline is reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that McIntyre is necessarily unhappy. So we got a couple comments coming in. Let's take a look at some of these. Where did the mouse go?
Did you make the comments smaller this time around?
It might be a little bit smaller. I'm happy to see Punk back in the WWE. Looks more happier and liberated. Kinda. I have one problem. Who in the bloody hell wants Punk versus Austin and why? I mean, don't get me wrong. Austin still got it. That's from Damien. You know what? I think there we go. It was probably when I reset everything after the last show.
I mean, a lot of people have been wanting to see this. Really and truly, honestly, this goes back to, right before Punk left the WWE 9 years ago, a little over 9 years ago. A lot of people were hoping, and they even teased it when, Austin came in as a special GM or, on their nights that they did Raw did that whole special guest host thing,
Yeah.
And they had teased it a couple times, like, here's Punk and Austin, in the same room together. Hey, can we see? No, we know Austin's, still at the time, still, hurt and still retired, heavily retired. But now it's like, since Austin had that match with KO, that everybody's like, can we get Austin Punk?
Well, and I think you take it a step further, right? You have to take it a step further, and it goes back to the comment of fan service, right? We saw Punk and Rock have their little battle that they had at the Royal Rumble a few years ago. Actually, at this point, a long time ago, when The Rock took the title off of Punk. And that was when a lot of that started swirling. A lot of that started swirling of Punk versus Austin, kind of taking on the Attitude Era, those different things. And so now, when you have Austin, and Damian goes on to say, and there's other comments, I'm going to get to them. Damian goes on to say, I'd rather see Punk versus Prime Austin, not 50-year-old Austin. You're right. I probably would too. One, that's just not going to happen. Two, Austin has proved himself the last couple of years that he can still put on an entertaining match. And that's more so what it is at this point. It's going to be the entertainment of, hey, we're doing this match. It's not going to be a schmoz. It's not, because I don't think the KO Austin match was bad.
No,
right?
not at all.
I don't think it was bad for anybody involved. I think Austin still looked good. I think KO still looked good. I think Punk and Austin can do that type of match now. Just again, it's fan service. It's fan service to us, but I also think it's fan service to them, because I do think that in some, deep dark part of Punk's heart, like that's on his wrestling bucket list. It has to be, I would think, right?
Oh yeah.
Silent Hill jumps in, agreed on the poll question. So if you're still hanging around, I know you're at a festival or something, you're doing some other things this weekend. What changed about your plans, right? What specifically changed? What do you have happening that you didn't have happening before? Brian Daly from the Hockey Happy Hour. What's up, guys? I agree to the poll. I think Randy and Roman meet up at WrestleMania in Philly. Punk and Rollins for the title for the Raw side. So Daly has Cody completely out of the picture.
I see Randy and Roman meeting up at Rumble. We are after tonight. We are starting on that road to the Rumble of of Orton and the Bloodline right away.
Well, yeah, and I don't think you can slow build that to WrestleMania. I think that does come to a head at the Rumble.
Either Rumble or Chamber.
No, it's gonna be the Rumble. You're gonna see Orton go through Jimmy. You're gonna see him go through Solo, because as he showed Monday night on Raw, he's not afraid to wrestle on the weekly shows. So you're gonna see him kind of go through these guys, get to Roman. They're gonna do a couple weeks build of, like, I think he spends December going through Solo and Jimmy, and he spends January building that feud with Roman, right? Still having to deal with Jimmy and Solo, but he's already beaten them. Now he's interacting with Heyman. He's interacting with Roman from time to time, building up to their match at the Rumble. Dynasty says no, because I think Punk faces Cena in his final match. So he disagrees. That's an interesting take. Punk versus Cena. So I wouldn't hate seeing those two go at it again. But when I think of John Cena's best opponent, no disrespect, I don't see CM Punk up there, right? Obviously, Edge is now in AEW, but I think that it would be Orton, Cena, maybe even borderline a double retirement match.
I was about to say the same thing. Orton, Cena, with Cena on his back after an RKO, just go out on his back like everybody else does.
Silent Hill, I assume it was Seth versus Gunther at Mania, but if they can't get Austin, I could see Seth Punk for the title. Then Gunther defends the IC title against Gable. See, it's interesting. So in all the conversations we've had, we had Gunther Gable at Mania. Gunther would retain the title for that long and then drop it to Gable at WrestleMania. Daly says, the reason I say WrestleMania is because Roman isn't on the shows week to week. He's going to get Jimmy and Solo, but I don't see him getting Roman right away. Please see my previous conversation 3 minutes ago.
Ooh,
Love you, Daly.
Listen to the show a little harder.
But no, it's when you really sit down and you break down Punk's arrival, and also Orton's too, right? Orton now signing with SmackDown tonight. Punk, I think for the first little bit, he's gonna float around because they want to be able to, parade him out there. He's a draw. He's what people are gonna want to watch right now.
Yep.
What's Punk gonna do next? Who is Punk gonna get involved in? Involved with, I mean. So I think that is more so the forefront of things than Orton. Orton, we know what's in store for Orton. We know it's Orton Bloodline right now, leading up to WrestleMania. We know Cody's going to win the Royal Rumble. It's going to be Cody Roman at WrestleMania. Seth Punk, I think, happens at the Rumble. And I think we see... So, actually, you know what?
See, all this right here just makes me less and less more interested in Monday's match because we all know how it's going to go if that's the case.
What? Seth versus Jey?
Mm-hmm. Because honestly and truly, and this is just me, with it being Seth versus Jey, you've got, Judgement in the background getting really bloody, getting real hungry, blood in the water.
Mm-hmm.
You could have potentially Jey win it, even if it's a hot second and Damian cash in. You could have Seth win it and Damian cash in. Either way, I kind of wanted to see a title change come next week on Raw.
So don't dismiss it then.
I'm gonna dismiss the hell out of it.
Why? Because you want how nice do you want me to be right now?
Bring it.
I think you're a fucking moron if you dismiss everything you just said. You want to know why?
Why?
Because the next words out of my mouth before you decided to interrupt me was going to be, I actually didn't interrupt me, as you decided to say you're less interested in this match, and you kept going. If you would have stopped right there, my next words were going to be, Jey wins, Judgment Day Damian cashes in.
Mm-hmm.
You're on Damian Seth to the Rumble. Right? Seth beats Damian because I don't think Damian can go. I like Damian. I don't think he's longer than a 2-month champion.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a solid first run.
I mean, I can go with that.
And then Seth Punk at Mania.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to watch the hell out of that match because it's Seth Jey.
But you were so quick to, because I made a point about what's going to happen with Punk and Seth, kind of going to the Rumble and whatever have you. Because realistically, after what we saw hit social media Saturday night, Seth Punk does not need the title. So even if Seth drops the title on Monday, and let's just say Jey doesn't get cashed in on right away. Jay's only going to be the champion for 2 months. He'll drop it at the Royal Rumble, probably due to a cash-in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then Damian could take it to WrestleMania. Because I would have to think with Elimination Chamber in Australia, who else is from Australia? Rhea Ripley. They're going to want Judgment Day standing tall going into Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
However the landscape of things look, expect the Judgment Day to win big at Elimination Chamber. If not the Judgment Day, definitely Rhea. But I think you have a good idea with Seth versus Jey. I could, and to be honest, and even if it wasn't Jey in this match, let's just say it was Sami or Cody or, if Gunther wasn't the Intercontinental Champion, if it was anybody else that I consider main event talent, Shinsuke, even though Shinsuke Cody thing was weird Monday night.
Ah, the Kool-Aid incident.
Yeah. Although he got him good. It was a solid shot with the mist.
Hell, Drew got it good too.
Yeah. Drew hit the title when he headbutted
I know
Seth.
that's what I did. You know what?
Stupid bastard.
Honestly, I didn't see it at first. I thought he actually clocked him good, which is why
I heard him clock the title.
I didn't hear him clocking the title. All I saw was headbutt, bleeding. I said, "Oh, he accidentally clocked him."
Silent Hill says, "You not having Damian carry the title to Mania." It's kind of twofold there, right? Do I want it? Not necessarily. But I have two different ways that I think they could take the world heavyweight title. Because to finish my point before we kind of went off on a tangent there,
Yep.
Seth is losing on Monday. I want Seth to lose on Monday. We introduced this title. We put the title on Seth. Now we haven't done anything with the title. That was not the reason for bringing this title in. As much as we want to say, oh, Seth's been a fighting champion. Yeah, that's great and all. But he's not invincible. You can't build him up to be invincible again.
You can't keep going with the back angle and him somehow magically, keep winning these matches, and each week get weaker and weaker from his back.
Yeah,
you can't keep running the same angle over and over. It's going to get to the point where everybody's like, so when's this magical back of his going to give out?
Exactly, and I think that you can play that off really well with Jey. He can be hungry. He can be, and people will still be okay with it. And I think Damian, but let's just say he does win.
You still got Sami too,
right? But let's just say that Seth does win. Then I see Damian cashing in. He didn't get to cash in at Survivor Series, right? Yep. I see him cashing in. So I see in a perfect world, Seth loses the title. Either it's to Jey and Jey continues on as champion, and I see Damian cashing in later and riding that into WrestleMania in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Elimination Chamber's the variable there. Cody being on Raw still, and knowing that Cody's going to win the Rumble makes Elimination Chamber a really weird event, because we have to know if they're going to say, okay, if Cody wins, he has to challenge for the World Heavyweight title. Or are they going to say, all right, Cody, you won. Which champion do you want? Right? So we have to see how they're going to play the Rumble this year, what they're going to decide to do. So I'm kind of covering myself here. What makes more sense to me that they should do is Damian cashes in Monday. No matter who wins, Damian's a champion from now until the Royal Rumble. He drops it at the Rumble to Seth, to Punk, to Jey, to Sami, to insert name here from the Survivor Series team. Pretty much, right? So I think in that aspect of things, that's where I'm getting Damian with the title. I'm kind of covering myself a little bit. Damian goes, question. We all know Priest and Seth is going to happen, but wouldn't it be more interesting if Priest cashed it in on the IC title and faced Gunther? No. Hey, well, so hold on.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to say no.
No. When Priest won the Money in the Bank, I floated that idea. I floated the idea of him cashing in on either the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title. Because I think at the time, Austin Theory was still champion.
Mm-hmm.
And the U.S. title was still on Raw. Gunther hadn't come over yet. So I floated that idea because we didn't have the other championship yet.
Yeah.
Right? Now that they have now that Seth has that title, that idea is less and less apparent. Because they're heavily teasing him going after it. It's a little bit more tradition. Don't get me wrong. I love the idea of him cashing in on Gunther, 7 months ago when he first won it?
Mm-hmm.
But not now. So it's a good question, Damien. It's a great question. Just right now, not very foreseeable. Silent Hill says Cody could lose at the Rumble and use his political chips to get into the chamber to face Roman. You know, that's actually that's a very interesting take.
Yeah.
None of us have floated the idea of Cody actually losing the Rumble.
Because it's too obvious of a choice for Cody to win the Rumble. So you have somebody else win the Rumble.
Yeah, but when did that stop them before?
I know, but it is a good idea, though. I mean, you have somebody, the winner, challenge Seth. CM Punk, let's say CM Punk, he wins the Rumble. He challenges Seth for the World Heavyweight title. Now you have an elimination chamber for a number one contender spot to WrestleMania to face Roman. And to Silent Hill's point, you have Cody play his cards right and go, hey, Nick, buddy, can I get in this match?
Maybe. Raymond says, I'm loving the Triple H run era. It's getting better. It is. It gets better and better every week, every month. Yep. We see a lot of good things happening. Some things make us scratch our heads, but I'm okay.
Yeah, but those head scratchers end up becoming, we finally get them go, okay, this is the end game.
We've got really good conversation going on, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to keep talking CM Punk and Randy Orton. We're going to try to transition into Survivor Series Fallout. But we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Guys, hang out.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
We thank Royal Billiard for sponsoring this portion of the show. Find all your game room and man cave needs at royalbilliard.com. So we've been talking CM Punk's return. We've been talking, do WrestleMania predictions change with the arrival of CM Punk? We've been talking Randy Orton's return. We've been kind of a little bit all over the place, but it's all Survivor Series Fallout. Yeah. And you said something very interesting to me as we were coming on the air. The intro, I did the intro. We hit the video. We had about 30 seconds of just kind of us going back and forth. And you said, I can't wait to roast CM Punk's promo from Monday night. And I am dying to hear what you have to say because I liked the promo.
It was meh. It was a typical I'm back promo. It was just, I'm back. I'm the best in the world. Here I am.
What did you want him to do?
I don't know.
So you can't.
I didn't want your typical return promo.
But what did you expect? I'm a little now I'm a little annoyed because you said you're gonna roast the promo, right?
I know roast is probably just a strong word.
And you got my hopes up.
I get everybody's hopes up.
And you're not roasting the promo. You're upset because it was a typical promo. Man's been gone for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
The man did a 2-year stint in purgatory.
I guess the real gripe is they only gave him like 5 minutes, if that.
Did he need more?
I don't know. I would have liked a better segment. I don't know. Orton's segment to me seemed better for his return. Because at least you got some sort of interruption or some sort of.
But he didn't. So here's the reason why I don't think the Punk thing needs an interruption. Okay. Because, sorry, I was switching. So I'm also producing. For those of you that are new here, I'm also producing things on the back end. So if there's a little pause, I'm readjusting so that everything's running smoothly over here. The reason why Punk doesn't need an interruption in his segment is you don't want to give away what Punk's doing right now. Mm. They've been doing this great with Jade. Right now we've seen some of the Jade stuff stop because we're getting ready for her debut. She's not 100% ready yet, so they're fine-tuning things. They gave it to us for a little bit, and now they've taken it away.
Which, of course, Triple H explained in his little meeting.
With Punk, everybody expected Punk to show up Monday night. It's a missed opportunity if you don't put Punk on Monday night.
Yep.
And what WWE does through the whole show, because I watched the whole thing,
I did too.
right, was they kept saying, Punk's back. CM Punk's, like Michael Cole said it at one point, it was fantastic. We're giving him a live microphone to say whatever he wants to say. Okay, that was probably about the 8 o'clock hour, or the second hour, because we're in the Central Time Zone. About the second hour, Cole said that, and about then I went, Punk's going on last.
Yeah, I
Right.
had that feeling.
Punk's going on last, and let's see what it plays. I missed a small portion of the show, of the Randy segment, so I didn't know Randy Dom was main eventing.
Mm-hmm.
So the main event happens. Great match, by the way. Randy looked great back in the ring. It kind of debunked. We made a comment to ourselves. I don't know if we were still on the air when
Like
we
the
made
Jelly Roll segment, not gonna lie.
that doesn't fit right here.
I meant the bit,
But that doesn't fit.
Well, you're talking about the Randy Orton match.
Oh, the bit in the match.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Sorry,
I know. You say segment.
I know.
That took a left turn, and you were getting slapped.
No, I meant
Get back in the car.
I meant the bit, the bit in the match.
Now shut up. Shiv it. Stop. So it debunked something. I don't know if we were still on the air Sunday when we made this comment. We made a comment about Randy not really taking a lot of bumps on Saturday in the match.
Yeah.
And then he turns around on Monday and does this match with Dom. It's a physical match. He takes a few bumps, not a whole lot, but he does take a few bumps. It kind of debunked the idea of Randy's being cautious.
Yeah. But he did look a little gassed right there at the end. I
I
don't blame him though. I was like, man, he is sorry.
You got room to talk. You got room to talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you go through this, and then Punk's coming out. Okay. And at this point, like, they go to commercial. It's a little bit of a longer commercial break.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting here and I'm watching. I'm like, all right, they're going to do this Punk bit commercial free. They're running all their commercials right now. And they were also smart. They did the first hour commercial free.
Yep.
You don't need to say yeah after every sentence.
Okay.
Like, seriously, it kills flow. So they do the first hour commercial free. And what I thought was so genius there is, if you got on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck we're calling that,
I still call it Twitter.
and
Fuck this X shit.
and you hear the announcement that Raw's commercial free for the first hour.
Mhm.
The first thought that ran through everybody's head was, "Oh, Punk's gonna open the show,
I thought
and they're
so.
gonna let Punk talk." Man, it would be fantastic. Damien, damn, I would hate to go to y'all's family barbecue if this is how y'all talk to each other on these lives. Family barbecue must be brutal. Well, here's a neat idea.
I can't wait for
One,
this.
we don't do family barbecues,
No.
okay? Because I love you, but you're not family,
Yeah, no.
right?
Agreed.
You're one of my best friends, but you're not family. Two, how do I put this?
Not enough food to fight over?
Bite me. Thanks for playing. But again, let's go back to that for a second, right? Why should I change? Why should the banter that has made us the greatest wrestling personality tag team on this in this company in the history of this company. Why should we change that?
Shouldn't.
We've always been like this. Does this surprise anybody?
I mean, even outside the show, we're like this.
If anything, we're worse.
Yeah, because we can actually be worse.
Some of the stuff we say to each other.
Worse than Royal Rumble?
There's a reason I don't come up to the shop a lot anymore. Sometimes it's not family friendly. But anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Yeah. There we go again.
They do no, you're fine. I do the same thing with the right?
Yeah.
But it was so smart to put Punk on last. And Punk, his presence in the WWE ring alone. The man could have walked out there and just sat down, Indian style, in the center of the ring and waved for 5 minutes, and that place would have went batty.
Was it just me, or was the crowd not as like vocal and live as they were Saturday night?
I think they turned the crowd microphone down.
Okay,
there's a small part of me, because of how raucous it was Saturday night. I think preemptively they're like, we need to have him speak.
I was about to say, because I felt like I was like, man, there's no way in hell that Punk returns and this crowd is this. They're not dead, but it's just they're
well, and
quiet.
Punk's also going to get such a bigger reaction in Chicago than he's going to get, and he even pointed it out, right? The Blackhawks and
his little hockey comment.
Yeah, the hockey comment. He ain't gonna get that good a reaction. Probably in hindsight, not the greatest place to tote him out in, right out the gate. But you had to do it. You couldn't change. You couldn't change that.
No, and I get that, but I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me.
No, I think they turned down the crowd microphone.
Because I was like, man, for a crowd that's for everybody that's really into Punk's return, this crowd. But then again, I get it. Some of these cities are just dead in general.
Because I also thought that if he opens the show, that crowd hijacks the segment. They would have to be commercial free because the crowd wouldn't shut up long enough for him to get his promo out.
True. And
you do it at the end of the night, they're tired.
That was about to be my point. They're tired as hell and ready to rock and roll on home.
Yeah, I mean, they're tired. A 3-hour show. Like, we did a 3-hour show just sitting here Saturday night. I've done Raw. I've done countless Raws. I've done countless pay-per-views.
We've done 2-day back-to-back WrestleManias that are 4 hours long.
I've done countless SmackDowns back in the taped days where you would do SmackDown and then like ECW afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Those are long events, right? It's just like football. Like when you go watch football live, sitting there in the stadium watching the game's great, but after a while you're like, damn it, these seats suck.
I ain't never done that before.
You're not missing much.
I've gone to baseball games, but I've never done football.
But even baseball, same comment, right? Yeah, the game's great. You're having great conversation. It's awesome when when your team's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, God, these seats suck. They're not designed for long periods of time, even though they should be, because you're there for several hours.
Right?
We're talking about an oxymoron. That's a whole different conversation for another day.
You want to get comfy, eat, drink.
That's why I get sweet tickets.
True that.
Anyway, but no, so I think the promo was good. I think the promo hit on the points that he absolutely needed to hit on. I think that it was short, sweet, to the point, and I love that it caught it on camera, but it wasn't through the microphone. I'm back. I'm here to make money, not friends. Oh, no, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. Close the show.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need anything else. I'm good. I'm great. Thank you.
I guess I just set my expectations way too high for this Punk return.
Always set your expectations too high, though.
And then I get dropped on my ass.
Yeah, like
You start setting them a little lower.
Yeah, go. So, how quickly dismissive you were of the Seth Jey match after I pitch Punk's thing. Borderline go into things like that. Right? Not completely super negative. Don't take the, I hope he's watching. Don't take the Rob Brinkman approach to life. Right? Don't do that, where everything's just horrible and the world's coming to an end.
I don't go that far down.
But I love Brinkman. Catch him on Sports Hounds every Monday night and Real Talk Fantasy every Thursday.
Way to save it.
I know. But that's what makes Brinkman unique, though. He has a unique outlook on things. And I think your outlook is unique, but it's so far in the clouds that when we sit down and we do these things, it's like, are you sure you're not the guy that was It's Still Real to Me, damn it?
Probably.
You sure that's not you?
Could have been.
Oh, I might have Frank do a side-by-side.
Why not? Y'all done worse.
We.
There's Cowboy Butters. I think there's worse.
I mean, this is still here.
Returning champion, a software engineer from Salt Lake City, Utah,
Margarine.
whose 74-day cash winnings total $2,520,700.
That will never get old.
As I said, Cowboy Butters, ye fucking ha.
That will never, ever, ever get old. Ha.
Here's your hats.com ad.
Wow.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Wow. Damien goes, CM Punk saying, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money, gave me chills, in my opinion. I think he said it better than when Kevin Nash said it. And I think because we know Punk so well, and because we know about what his mentality is now as you know, an older, wiser man, that there's a lot of truth to that sentence, right? Notice how he never brought up Seth. Seth brought up Punk. So I was like, I don't care. Punk's like, I don't care if you like me. Don't like me. Fine, okay. You're not the one paying me. I don't have to like you.
Money.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to go to our last commercial break of the evening, and then we're going to do a quick run through of the the Survivor Series card. And that'll kind of take us to the end of the show. So we'll be right back after this word from our friends at Carlino's.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My Nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
God, I really do love that commercial. Shop Carlino's Italian food online with things like gourmet cheeses, meats, olive oils, and gift baskets. Elevate your dining with Carlino's Gourmet Italian Deli. Discover the taste of Italy now. And just remember, Hanukkah starts tomorrow, so if anybody wants to send me a care package, DM me for my details. Thank you, your resident Jew. I'm just saying. 8 nights of gifts, man. A gift basket covers a lot of them. A gift basket covers a lot.
Sausage stick night 1, sausage stick night 2.
No, they have actually Hanukkah stuff on there.
Oh.
Like I when we were prepping for Survivor Series last week, I jumped on their website because I hadn't jumped on it in a while, and they added a Hanukkah section. So you can get latkes and some different
I've noticed that lately with a lot of places, though. They're starting to add in more Hanukkah stuff.
Even friggin' Disney had a whole Hanukkah section.
Yeah.
Open that closet. Up top. Scarlet. I mean, look at this thing, which you guys can find at Cards and Comics Connections, located in Conroe. You can also sit down, damn it.
I'm trying to, damn it.
You can also find this schmo every weekend. I mean, look at this. It's a beautiful Hanukkah bag.
Listening.
Right? We're just going to leave that right there because, well, I'm proud of my faith and my Disney obsession. That door was really bothering you, wasn't it?
Yep.
But, all right, so let's go through the rest of the card.
No open doors, damn it.
Let's go through the rest of the card. Let's start with Escobar, Dragon Lee.
Damn good match.
I thought, because we didn't get to, and for the record, we didn't get to recap Saturday.
No.
Because Punk came out, threw us all off, and nobody could speak. There were no words.
It was bye.
Like I literally, yeah. No,
damn fine match.
Escobar, Dragon Lee was fantastic. I don't know what it does long term for the story. I know that Dragon Lee came out tonight and got involved with Escobar.
Now next week it is part of the U.S. title tournament. Bobby Lashley versus Karrion Kross, and then also next week is Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. So we're getting Dragon Lee Santos round 2.
I don't know if you needed that so quickly, at least. Maybe make that the meet in the semifinals, or maybe make that the finals.
Yeah.
Right?
It'd make more sense.
Because then they can taunt each other throughout the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Dragon Lee can come down and make the different saves. Escobar can try to cost Dragon Lee his matches.
I was about to say, you could have Dragon Lee win the whole thing and then just Escobar cost him the title match in the end.
Shot. It's way too cookie cutter for me. I like Escobar as a heel right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want it to dry out and die out. I know the Rey Mysterio being injured and having to go away for surgery does really bad timing, but that seems to be the theme with LWO storylines.
Bad timing.
Injuries and bad timing.
Yeah, because ain't one of the tag team members injured too?
I keep forgetting about those guys, honestly. All right, so that one was great. Ms. Gunther.
Classic.
They put on a clinic. They absolutely did.
And they're already teasing round 2 as well.
I don't like Gunther going to the top for the splash. Especially on smaller talent. Because it was very, very clear Gunther's knees hit the mat and none of him hit the Miz.
Yeah.
But in that same sentence, I'll turn around and say, I love that. Like, who texted me? Somebody texted us during the show. It might have been Silent Hill in that side chat that we have. That me, Silent Hill, and Jax have. What is this man's finisher? It's okay not to answer that question because he doesn't need one. He's going to beat you with whatever he needs. So, like, as we saw, the Lion Tamer, Boston Crab, Walls of Jericho, whatever you want to call it, against The Miz, right? We've seen him win with the splash. We've seen him win with a sleeper hold, with a, insert move here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not. Yeah, it was Silent Hill. Gunther, the man of 1,000 finishers. You have Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds. Chris Jericho, the man of 1,004 holds. And Gunther, the man of 1,000 finishers. Soon, we're just going to have the 1,000 Club. What? We had the Diamond Mind.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I liked that Gunther went over. I still think Gunther Gable is the end all be all. But Miz,
You're dying on that hill, ain't you?
I'm dying on that hill.
Just checking.
Because I think it's such a good match for everybody. It's a good
Mania moment for Gable.
Yeah, and it brings everything full circle for Gable.
You like the fact that he should have won that. They should have won that match last year.
Yeah,
or this year. Sorry,
and it brings everything full circle for Gunther as well. Because all right, you proved yourself as this dominant Intercontinental champion. Yeah, you lost at WrestleMania, but you've put on banger after banger after banger after banger. Let's see what you can do in the main title picture.
Now go after the big dog.
Exactly. Rhea versus Zoe.
It's a good match. Wasn't, best match, but it was a good match.
I'm a Zoe Stark fan. I understand and I acknowledge the fact that Zoe is still very green in comparison. And she's still finding herself and figuring herself out. Probably not the best showing of her, especially when 24 hours later she gets squashed. Not squashed, but she goes nighty-night time to Nia.
Did you really expect her to beat Nia?
I expected her to put up more of a fight. She had 72 hours of poor showings. Right? I get some of it's creative, right? Put Nia over, let Nia be the next one. All right, fine, cool. But I was not a fan of the match with Rhea. I don't think it did either one of them justice, so to say. It was just kind of an kind of match.
It was just a match to say, hey, Rhea defended the title.
Yeah, without really taking away from the two girls, because I think they're both great. I just don't think that match had a place on the card in hindsight. I was very excited for it going into it. Very, very excited for it because I kind of thought Zoe was going to win because I had this whole thing planned out for Rhea. But in hindsight, I was not a big fan of the match.
Understandable.
The women's WarGames match.
Best WarGames match of the night, my opinion.
Think so?
I think so.
Why?
Just these women just put it all on the line, put it all out. Yes, Io went a little crazy with her spot. The blind dive off the top was a little bit, nutty. But at the end of the day, end of the night, whatever you want to call it, I think the women took it to a higher level than the men.
I think I'll die on this hill too. Didn't like the Io trash can spot. I don't think it was needed. I don't like the idea of these becoming, let's beat the hell out of each other with whatever we can find on the ring. Every other person grabs stuff underneath the ring. I don't think that's needed. Especially when you're going into a match where there's very clear advantages.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if that's the case, then why do we care who has the advantage? Right? Because the person who's like outmanned can just pick up a kendo stick and beat the bloody piss out of the other guy.
Damage Control had matching kendo sticks at the end of the night.
Well, but also Damage Control never felt like they had the advantage.
They had it, but they never fully used it.
It was the same thing with Judgment Day too.
No, Judgment Day had a little more. They had it a little more under control.
Not as much.
At least until Orton showed up.
Damien says the Charlotte and Becky hug botch was hilarious. And that's more a botch on Io's part. She was like, you watch Io walk around. Like the camera angle was bad. Io's spot was bad. I thought the hug was great. We saw it on the press conference because I watched bits and pieces of it. I do think we're gonna see more of them together. I do think they make a run for the tag titles. I said that on the show, on one of the shows last weekend.
Mm-hmm. Not right away. Probably closer. Doing like the kind of somewhat like Sami KO, but not as exact.
I don't think. I think the right team won. right, with the faces, because I do think we're going to see the end of Bayley with Damage Control, and you saw some of that tonight when she got involved in Kyrie's match with Bianca.
When she was told to stay backstage, and
Yep.
then also, hey, where the hell were you? We could have used you out there.
Uh-huh.
Can you give Kyrie some tips right now on taking on?
Yeah, they're really playing into this Bayley isolated from Damage Control.
They're starting to get fed up with her a little bit. You can tell.
Yeah. So I think storyline wise, it all worked. I wasn't 100% sure why everybody got involved tonight, right? Why it was needed to keep going down that road.
Probably just to keep things even for the moment.
Unless it plays into the bigger story of Bayley getting away from Damage Control.
True.
Right. Especially when you have Becky and Charlotte on the same page. Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, they were the 4 horsewomen. Right. And with the rumors of Sasha potentially WWE bound.
4 horsewomen versus Damage Control at Mania.
That would be something. That would be something.
And if you don't get Sasha, you can still do the horsewomen versus Damage Control. You've got 3 out of the 4. You just don't call it the 4 horsewomen. You just call it the horsewomen versus Damage Control.
Yeah. Which we haven't seen them kind of act like that, especially if we're going to have this group of Asuka, Kyrie, Io, and Dakota, right? Having another female faction to counterbalance that, I think would work really well, because essentially you could say the Damage Control storyline is a copy-paste gender swap of the Judgment Day storyline.
Mm-hmm.
You have a faction against a hodgepodge. Damage Control is going to be sick when Bayley win the Rumble. See, he's got Bayley winning the Rumble.
Kick her out before the Rumble. She wins the Rumble, goes against Io. I mean, it's very possible.
It writes itself. Bayley gets that WrestleMania moment that she's been kind of, missing, in my opinion.
You kicked me out. Now I'm going to show you why you shouldn't have done that.
Exactly. And then on to the men's war game match. I think it was very, very well done. The right team ups, the right pairings, the right order of things. It didn't
the cash
feel...
in tease was fun.
Yeah, which led to Randy coming out, and Rhea's face was priceless through that. Balor saying, "What the fuck?" a couple of times. Damian looking like, "Oh, we're dead. We're dead. We're dead. Pack it up and go home. We're dead."
I mean, and then, because you'd made that point, they tried to cash in before WarGames fully started.
Yep.
Almost there.
When Rhea ran out, I was like, "Ooh, I'm right." I didn't say anything out loud. I didn't nothing because I shouldn't say I figured, right? That makes me. I had a hunch that's when Randy was going to come out when Rhea started running down.
Mm-hmm.
Or if not, Randy, Punk, because we thought Punk was going to take Orton's spot.
With it knowing Orton, coming back out or whatever, I was kind of almost hoping Rhea comes out with the ref, but before they can get down the ring, it was an RKO, and it's just like.
Well, when Rhea ran out with a female ref,
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have said if Rhea runs out with any of the guy referees, oh yeah, they would have eaten it. But no,
not RKO the ref, RKO Rhea.
Nah, Rhea's not. No, because Rhea's been untouchable. Rhea has messed with all these different people, all the men. Like, she's gotten physical, this, that, and the other thing. Nobody has put her in her place. And when you do that, it has to be on a higher level, I think, than Randy right there. Randy put her in her place Monday night when he said, "Daddy's home."
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Great promo.
Great segment.
Great line in the segment, too.
And then tonight, tell Roman, Daddy's back.
Yeah.
I guess we're going with Daddy Orton for now.
Butters, there are some things that I don't think you should ever truly say out loud. That might be up there on the list. That might be pretty high on the list.
I figured that's just his new gimmick going forward.
I promise you, I'm never calling him that.
It's probably gonna be the only time I'm ever gonna say that again.
No, you'll say it again.
Yeet. Love you, Pete.
Ouch. That hurts me.
I almost pulled the trigger on that shirt too.
I know you did. But all right, so we got a few minutes left. Survivor Series was great. We talked about every match though last week in more detail as they were happening. So if you want to go back and check those out, definitely do that. We didn't want to be on for too long tonight. We don't have Pete. And we've got a very long road ahead of us when it comes to the build for Royal Rumble and different things like that. End of the year, yada, yada, yada. Do you have anything for running this week? Anything you want to talk about? Or even this week in wrestling that you want to talk about?
I mean, there really wasn't nothing much AEW-wise that I felt was needed. I mean...
Well, because they don't respond to CM Punk coming back.
No. Tony Khan said there was legal reasons why he couldn't say anything. I mean, they did do the segment in the ring with MJF getting, attacked by the devil goons, not the devil himself.
Mm-hmm. Because he's got that torn labrum.
Yep. Which he's right now doing the, I guess, rehab for it with stem cells and stuff to instead of having to do surgery, which would have put him out for a couple months.
Okay.
So he's trying to naturally nurse it. They say they can try to do a few matches here and there with the Phantom matches and the fuzzy finishes.
Yeah.
To try to get towards Samoa Joe.
Okay.
But, we're furthering the storyline with the devil, and it's interesting. And then Bully Ray made some comments.
What did Bully say?
That he's got you all fooled. Because I had y'all fooled when I got attacked at my own wedding. Harking back to the Aces and Eights moment.
Oh, yeah.
A storyline looking very similar.
Yeah, it is interesting. I'm very cautious when it comes to AEW because every time I feel like we should be doing something to further the storyline, they go so far left, so far away from it, and you're like, what are you doing?
Yo.
Damien says, question. I don't know if y'all seen Ric Flair's tweet today, bitching and complaining to fans. What are y'all's thoughts on that? Well, so I heard Flair's segment got cut short from Dynamite because Dynamite was a little recorded.
They cut out a portion of that segment of him saying a little something.
So based on that, Flair can bite me.
I mean, I'm not condoning what he said, but at the same time, what he said really it just more sounds creepy because of his age.
But let's back up. Let's not even get into what he said. Let's get into the fact that it's 2023 and Ric Flair is on my TV screen in a wrestling ring with a live microphone.
Tony should know that's bad.
Hulk Hogan's not even that bad. And Hogan, I think, has less money than Flair. I think Hogan's been divorced more times than Flair.
Yeah.
That might not be true.
No, I think Flair's been divorced more times than Hogan.
Hogan's had more medical problems than Flair, and Flair's almost died.
I was about to say, I think Hogan's working on his third marriage right now.
But his eighth back.
Yeah.
I put no stock in Ric Flair anymore, which is sad to say because he's such a foundation of the world of professional wrestling. But he's taken a legacy and a career and completely
over under on if he makes it to March
with AEW, like signed or just alive.
I'm just talking to Sting's last match.
No, he'll say something dumb. Silent Hill says Tony signed this man. He gets what he gets for that decision. Damien says Ric Flair shouldn't even be on the ring after that Dark Side of the Ring episode. Ric Flair shouldn't be on the ring after he was done with WWE in 2014. I think the TNA move was dumb. I think the
final match
was dumb. I think everything Ric Flair has done, like, he had such a wonderful send-off. He had such a wonderful moment in the ring with Shawn Michaels, a moment that nobody talks about anymore. Like the I'm sorry, I love you, super kick, pin, 1, 2, 3, hug in the ring, to easily one of the greatest segments of Raw ever, with the retirement, the only televised retirement WWE has ever done.
Probably never.
They didn't even do it for Taker.
They didn't even do it for Triple H.
Not as big of a name. He's big, don't get me wrong, but when you look at the legacy of professional wrestling, right? But everything you've done post 2008, you have tarnished your career, your legacy. Every signing you've ever done, where you've come in just looking like hell. When I met him a few years ago, when I met Taker, you could tell he was on something, or he was coming off being on something.
Now,
he had no idea where he was.
If you do what you did Wednesday night with the small little backstage promo segment with Sting, because you announced the city, I don't remember where, and the date and all that, that's fine. That's perfectly fine, because you're kind of going off a cue card in a sense. You're more controlled that way.
Right.
But out in the ring, take the man out of the ring. Just
don't leave him in a ring with a live microphone.
Just keep him backstage in a controlled environment.
I'm okay if he wants to walk down to the ring with Sting and stand in Sting's corner for every match that Sting has from now until March. I'm okay with that.
It's fine.
The minute you give him a live microphone and let him talk, there's nothing he can contribute. There's nothing he needs to say. He is not there to open his mouth. He is there to be supportive of an icon and cash a check. So Flair, politely, respectfully, sit down or go home. And on that note, we out. We want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Carlino's. We want to thank hats.com. We want to thank Alonzi Travel. Alonzi Travel specializes in creating a vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. Alonzi on over to alonzi-travel.com/take the trip. You can get in touch with myself, Birds of a Feathers, Chuck Moranin, or any of the other talented travel agents that we have at Alonzi Travel. I will probably not be on the air next week. I have a Hanukkah celebration to go to, but you will more than likely catch this man and Mr. Pete Evans next week, talking about God knows what. But until then, we have everything every day here at HD Radio. Sunday, make sure you guys check out Agree to Disagree, post Eagles, Niners. Will the Eagles still be the number one team in the NFL? Until then, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, love, and joy.